Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our community debate at the Super Metroid Zelda 3 Combo Randomizer. I am Big Bot, commentating alongside Raylan Tank here today. We have Born Traveler doing tracking, and good. How is everyone?
I, for one, am doing absolutely fine, and I am excited to see two of our top runners face off here on Restream, while we have few more racers racing in this weekly. We will have hard logic compromiser seeds, so yeah, let's see what our runners have to do today, and they can bring off their best game.
Racing off stream, we also have H0, PP Chan, Neaterific, MM2 Nest Cartridge, Apathy Duck, Tony T. Young, SP Ridley, XAGX, and Scoopula. We are waiting on one more person to ready up, and then we'll be counting down. Real quick, Raylan, where are you hoping we find some progression?
I should say it's most of runners will usually start right to go Link to the Past, so it's always kind of a fun one if you have somewhat immediate progression on the Morph Ball pedestal or the E-Tank down there in Retro Bryn. So yeah, I'm all for those starts that have something important somewhat out of the way, so our runners have to scramble a bit for their opening and piece together this route from there. Always interesting to see how they go about it.
Speaking for myself, my personal favorite troll location, if you want to go that route, is Showcase Showdown in Lower Norfair. That's the one that's hard locked by Space Jump.
Certainly a good one.
Alrighty, we have one person we're still waiting on. While we're waiting, the qualifiers for the upcoming 2v2 co-op tournament have concluded. So, are there any teams you're looking forward to seeing in that tournament, Raylan?
I am just excited to see how the multiple teams that we have in the tournament will work out. Yeah, there are so many strong teams, so many good runners in this tournament, and yeah, doing this co-op with InfoShare does kind of lead to some interesting strategies and decisions on where to go and yeah, what to pick up and what to skip. So I do not have really favorites. I'm just excited to see the tournament start and want to watch how it will play out.
That is all absolutely fair. All right, our last racer has readied up. We are counting down. There'll be a little bit of a stream delay, but we'll be underway in a few seconds. Expecting a really good show today because Aussie and Maniacal are two of the better runners in the community, which is not to diminish any of the other runners, but Aussie and Maniacal always have strong execution and good routing.
Definitely. You have spoken about us in Maniacal, or they are certainly two of the top runners as we are starting the race. But yeah, you've mentioned the tournament or the tournament qualifiers that have concluded, and Aussie, together with Solsky, I believe, they came out on top or as top team overall in the qualifiers. So yeah, certainly has shown already again just how much of a strong runner they are. no surprises here. Both runners starting immediately going link to the past, taking the Lake Hylia Island. The 20 rupees. Not important. Unlike that hook shot.
That is... The hookshot can't do damage on its own, but there are some enemies it can kill, and you can also stun other enemies with it, correct?
Yeah. There are some enemies that die to them. Most notable, the mini Moldorms and mini Moldorm Cave will die, so certainly a good, nice item to find early. Most of the other enemies you can stun, and it's also a great mobility item. So you can use it to hook yourself to various trees, signs, and pots, and just make your movement a little bit quicker.
I see finding the silver arrows in the moat, and then a +5 arrow capacity upgrade on Uncle.
That's certainly a nice Uncle start. Bro. Having silvers, although you cannot use them right now with Otto, certainly gives you a strong offensive tool later for Link to the Past. No need for silverless Ganon. Always nice.
And I think I just saw three crystals in the light world with a red crystal at desert.
The nice item pickups continue, although Space Beam probably not the most favorite beam for runners, but this early in the seed it is a damage upgrade for Super Metroid.
And there's our first sword at the Thieves' Hideout. And the Spacer at the Mushroom Spot. Now, the earlier you find that Spacer, the better it is. It's completely obsoleted by Plasma Beam, but it's better than nothing.
Nice 8-bomb drop that Ozzy got there from killing that bird. That is kinda lucky, as Maniacal is heading into Kakariko without bombs, so has to do a light trip downward, buy bombs, or hope for some here in the back of Tavern. Which will do in a few seconds, so yeah.
Looks like one of the tree poles is red rupees, which is not bad at all.
If you can remember which people it is certainly an option if you need to farm money for Zora, although we have found the 300 rupees already, so if we need money for Zora, we should be very close to it already.
Alrighty, Ozzy into Blind's Hideout. There are 5 items there in the basement as Maniacal is heading to the chicken hut. That's a pack of missiles in the chicken hut. And Blind's basement, there's 50 rupees. Our first energy tank. A pack of power bombs, that's out welcome. And another pack of power bombs. Ooh, extra scope from the bottle vendor. And a blue rupee in the back of the basement as Maniacal is heading into the well.
Well, starts out with 10 arrows. Some super missiles. That's our first one. The hammer. Very good items. More super missiles and heart containers. So that's a pretty good well, I'd say.
Kakariko looking pretty stacked today.
For sure.
Now going back to those power bombs real quick, the magic number there is going to be 3 packs for a total of 15. Once you've got that many, you don't need to rely on drop luck or backtracking to refill to destroy the Metroids at the end of Super Metroid if the ice beam does not show up, which there's always a chance it won't.
And now into Blind Side Out. Because he is making his way down to Kakariko, grabbing missiles. Here, out of the chicken hut. Flipping the chicken into the wall.
Alrighty, I'm fired the runner and commentary team commands in chat. Looks like they're not set at this point, so we'll figure something out there.
Yeah, Michael did decide to skip out on checking the library and the race game, or yeah, I think, yeah. he did. So yeah, it
Yeah.
would have been a long way back down there for Maniacal. So deciding to sit and quit out the blind dots and going to the south shore.
All right, there is a red rupee on the library ledge as Maniacal finds I believe he found another red rupee in the dam chest.
Yeah, it wasn't something too useful.
All right, money item is just some more missiles. I see doing the race game.
Supers.
All right, looks like the stun prize is 5 arrows, if I'm understanding how that works properly. If you kill an enemy while it's stunned, you get the stun prize. Is that correct?
That is correct. And I did miss what it was, but I will believe you that the stun price will be arrows.
Yeah, 5 arrows. Maniacal making short work of the mini Moldorms for 5 prizes back here.
Did show off that hookshot utility, especially for that cave, and killing the Moldorms. Sometimes it's a bit finicky to hit them, as they are quite dodgy. But still,
Okay, a damn chest was blueberries. Maniacal heading toward Ice Rod Cave. That'll be his last stop. Is there anywhere he can go from Ice Rod Cave in a reasonable amount of time, or is he probably just gonna save and quit?
he will most likely save and quit. There would be the option to head back down and do the fake flipper, but without Pearl you cannot check Waterfall Ferry, and just walking back down there to check Hobo, as we do not have enough money to check Zora, would be rather surprising. Like that would take that long trip back down there just to set up the fake flipper.
Got it. Alrighty, there's our third pack of power bombs. That's the magic number 15.
We are set on power bombs, and Manaka 7 putting to Link's house. We'll now do the uncle checks, so we'll find the silvers, and more importantly, we'll probably head to the front of Hyrule Castle to take a few more items in there.
If I remember the item layout of the castle right, there's the map, there's a small key, and the rest are prices. Is that correct?
That is correct. One small key that we did not find it in the sanctuary. It is somewhat limited on where it can be. So it cannot be on the 2 chests down to Zelda's, on the way to Zelda's cell, just first there. And depending on where the key is, there will be some of the items logically locked behind certain items.
Yeah, Dark Cross is locked by the lamp. I believe the 3 chests in the back of the escape are locked by Power Glove or Lamp.
Lamp and that small key. That small key can be in the back, which would make its hard glove lock in the logic.
Alrighty, Manacle's the first one in there, as Aussie is heading for the Eastern Palace area.
3 items to grab right immediately here at South Radar. Can get information about the Green Pendant if you want to. Yeah. Fire rods.
And it looks like the small key was in the first chest in the dungeon area.
That is an interesting find. It does mean 2 things. Maniacal can now get to the back of escape from here, out of logic, through the dark rooms. But it also means that the 2 items down to Zelda's cell, the boomerang chest and the item in Zelda's cell, are in logic without anything.
Yeah, Maniacal is heading through the dark rooms as Aussie's into Eastern. 3 prizes in Eastern, some of them locked by Lamp. Some of the chests are locked by Lamp, I should say. We don't know what all is and isn't.
depending on where the big key is, big chest may or may not be locked behind that lamp vertically.
All right, there's 20 rupees. That's 1 prize out of 3. Maniacal using the hook shot and the sword sparkles to navigate the dark rooms.
Yeah. If you know the layout well, you can kind of hook to the Dark Cross chest, showing us and bomb capacity upgrade. So that's 1 more item.
And there's another pack of power bombs, 2 prizes out of 3. For anyone who might not know who's in the Link to the Past randomizer community, the logic used by Link to the Past here was forked from version 29 of that randomizer, so we still have things in the item pool like capacity upgrades, separate silvers and bows, things like that.
And most importantly, to note for the compared to the current version 31, while Odyssey did find a fire rod, the Armor's Knights would not be in logic with it if we would find a bow. So in version 31 of the Link to the Past randomizer, especially with the big key right here, Armor's Knights with the bow would be in logic even without the lamp. That is not true for the Compromiser.
All right, that big chest had the map, so there are 2 left. The vanilla big key chest and the Armos Knights, correct?
Yep. So just make it all the way back to back of escape, and it is glove locked. He did find the Ether medallion though.
It's very possible we won't need that because we have all 3 pendants in the Dark World, but we will see. Using bombs to death warp.
So Maniacal did not find the key in the first chest there, so he did steal the key. I didn't really pay attention, but yeah. That is an option you had there for Maniacal. You can steal the key from the blue gut and not use it on the door right below it to take it all the way back to back of escape.
I must have seen that. I must have seen that wrong.
Yeah,
Right, and Aussie finds the compass in the big chest, in the big key chest, so that means Armos has the last item. We'll need to come back here anyway because it is a crystal, so it's not too much of a loss.
The thing is, or the reason Maniacal is okay with stealing the key there is because if you get to back of escape, you will get that key back if it was not in that chest there, as it has to be in one of the chests, or it cannot be in 2 chests that Maniacal is approaching, so he would not be able to lock himself out of this. That's
right, so
one
now,
item here.
Yeah, so now there has to be a prize in Zelda Cell, correct?
Yep. But it's not in logic just yet.
Because it's not in logic because the key is in the back, right?
Right.
Oh, it was Kane of Samaria that was in that first chest.
Okay. I completely missed that one.
So did I. I just saw that he had a key and I thought, oh hey, he got it out of the chest.
Just a hard container here, so... Yeah.
Alright, with that...
And definitely nice item, but not really our progression that we need right now.
What do we have access to right now?
I think we almost checked everything out of Zelda there. I think there's just a Gina left that's in logic currently. Otherwise, there's the Morph pedestal.
And there's also the Retro Brain Energy Tank.
Yeah. So, I did not forget anything. We have just 3 checks left where we have to find progression. Green Pendant is Palace of Darkness today.
Good knowledge.
Also setting up Death Warp. We'll be, going to check Dark Cross, but won't be able to get to the back of escape just yet, as he did spend that key. So he will not be able to get all through the key door in Dark Cross.
Alrighty, looks like Maniacal's making his way over to Eastern as I... Alright, Ozzy and Maniacal are just crisscrossing what the other has done at this point.
I mean, Agina is just one item. It takes a very long time to get to. And you already walked up to the 3 item in Zalthrala. You are kinda close to Eastern, and you, without a glove, you have no fast way to get back there if your progression is there. So why not try to get the 3 items here as well? If you're already here and have checked most of everything else. Totally understandable for Maniacal to do it.
Alright, Ozzy is not going to check Agina. He is going to save his game and hard reset to respawn back at the ship in Super Metroid, which is what happens when you hard reset while you're in Link to the Past. So real quick, what do you think our progression will be? I'm gonna say it's the screw attack to get us to Big Pink and Brinstar.
I think it's the flute actually, because the flute would do open up quite a bit of more items up on the mountain.
Ozzy does the moonfall strat, which involves falling off of a ledge with the moonwalk, so you fall with uncapped vertical speed. Spectral and Mina, we cannot check Omega Missiles yet because we don't have the Morph Ball. Oh my gosh, you caught it! It is the flute!
Yeah, I was just looking at our inventory, and with hookshot, with hammer, we will now have full access to Hera, so yeah.
We've also got a lot of... I think we also pretty much have all of Light Death Mountain available.
Yep, because the way to Hera is over the right side. With the hookshot first, and then use the hammer up, get back over the bridge to Hera, so yeah. Not too surprising.
Alrighty. I am hoping that we see either the speed booster or the screw attack sometime soon. Because one of my favorite things in the randomizers is watching the runners have to compensate for not having the Morph Ball. That's one of the more impressive things to me.
Yes, the Morph Ball would have opened up quite a big part of the Metroid here at this point.
Now, I say this pretty much every race I commentate, but it bears repeating for our new list, for our new viewers. Super Metroid glitch to slow percent is only 15 items, and 9 of those are ammo or health. You have the Morph Ball, bombs, Varia and gravity, charge beam, three energy tanks, 3 super missiles, 2 super missiles, 3 missiles, 2 super missiles, 1 power bomb, and I think that's it. Oh, ice beam too for the Metroids.
Maniacal does decide to check Agina here, so we will also get to see what's in this cave, and it's like also taking a peek at Desert Edge. Information about the item that's lying out here in the open, which is a reserve tank, so no thank you. Ozzy is activating flute. Now Ozzy with the flute has the option to quickly check these checks as well. Does not have to take the long walk from his house, instead can just flute to spot 6 and be right there in the desert. So we'll see if he does take this little detour or if he will head straight to the mountain. To the mountain.
Alrighty, gonna rescue the old man out of logic, so we'll see what he's got.
When Minaika, of course, did not check race game yet, so does decide to get the check after all, not banking on the Morph Ball pedestal just yet. Let's lose a few more seconds here.
Yeah, if any of our racers off the restream checked that did that Super Metroid tech early, they're going to be in a very good position. Kind of disappointed that we won't be able to see it.
Certainly an interesting spot, and what the flute is, it's a very powerful movement item in Little Pass, so that would have saved you quite a bit of time here in the early game.
There is actually one item in logic in Super Metroid at this point via the cross-game portal to the Upper Norfair Business Center, but it looks like Ossie's not going to check that just yet.
Yeah, there's no reason to. You have the 8 items here on East F Mountain. You have up to 2 items you can get in Hera. We have the hook shot, and Ozzy has some spare bombs left, so if Ozzy wants, he can decide to do the Hera pod glitch and get access to Moldorm, even if the big key would be locked in the basement behind the fire source, which we do not have yet. But what we do have are now the cape and wave beam.
We do have the fire rod.
Oh, right. Never mind. So Hera would be completely in logic. Hey, more fire in the form of bombs. And the powder.
Remind me, do we need anything other than powder and hammer to check the magic bat?
No. Hammer, powder, and some spare magic to use are more than enough.
Oh wait, yeah, usually in these races I see the runners mirror from Dark World over there, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, that would require the mitts and the mirror, but would circumvent the hammer. You need either or.
Right, now, looks like we've got a shield upgrade on the floating island. And I'm also thinking, what was it? I lost it. Give me a sec, trying to remember what I was about to say. Oh, right. Yeah, that cape and a sword means AGA 1 for Dark World access may be a thing.
Certainly a possibility, just a lamp missing for that. Although without the Moon Pearl, we have real much we could do in the Dark World. So, yeah. Unless that Pearl and the lamp show up, I do not expect our runners to even think about AGA at this point.
Oh, right. Lamp is required for access too. I forgot about that.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Aussie and Maniacla would both be fine with the fire rod. If you light the important dark rooms in AGA Tower and just move through the other ones. But it's not in logic, and when it's not in logic, you do not want to do AGA. It's just slow.
You were saying earlier that lighting torches with the fire rod can be expected by newer logic on the Link to the Past side?
That is true, but that does not count for AGA Tower, as there is one room in the dark rooms where is no torch at all, and that is hard required for the logic, or to be able to, or for the logic to assume you using fire rods. So AGA Tower, even in version 31, is hard lamp locked.
Got it.
And like I said, that's because there's just one room in this entire time that does not have torch light.
Alright, Ossie going for Moldorm. Gonna use the hammer to do tempered sword damage to him. There's 1 hit out of 3. Second hit. Well done. And now if this is the other prize, that means the small key locked itself in the basement. But no, it is the small key, so basement's got a prize.
This is in pure Link to the Past, and this is always the point where Runner is really debating, do you really want to take that long break there in the Hera basement just for that one item? But with how little else option we do have, totally understandable to Aussie to just say, okay, it is an item, I just need a Morph Ball, I need Screw Attack, I need something. Watch the speed the lamp, and this scene can turn into a real fun thing.
Alrighty, Asa uses that delayed shot to offset his Z position so that he is now invincible. That'll give him a little bit to catch his breath, maybe take a drink, wipe his hands.
You do have to be careful though. You can lock yourself in between those two pegs if you're not careful. So you can get stuck in there, and if you do, and you do not have the mirror, you have to save and quit. And
I've never seen that happen before.
yeah, Ozzy was close to being locked there, but he was just enough to the right that it didn't matter. But it looked like he was a little bit stuck on some of the collision there for a second.
Alright, it's just 20 rupees, so that was a bust.
And without the mirror and not wanting to death warp, which only taken half damage from those stealth balls, death warp will be taking a bit of time because he just walked out of Hera, and this is just even more time that you have to invest in this one single check.
Alright, what else do we have up here at this time? I think just Spiral Cave?
That is correct. And aside from Spiral Cave?
Oh yes, the item inside Spectacle Rock too.
Right, Ozzy did not check it. And I didn't pay attention to if Maniacal checked it.
I didn't catch it either. If he did.
But yeah, it would be that one item in Spectacle Rock, the one item we are coming up here on Ozzy's side. And the high jump energy tank. You mentioned is in logic.
Right, it looks like Ozzy preparing to flute away. Actually, even if he is going to go check Spectacle Rock, I'll bet that flute is faster. Oh, but that's not what he's doing. Oh, he's thinking that magic bat.
Right. How could we forget about that? As a Link to the Past runner myself, there's something about these fetch quests in Link to the Past. If you get them pre-Dark World access, you're usually a bit more inclined to check them as they could be way later in the seed if there's nothing important in it. So when you get a hammer and the powder early, there's a little bit higher chance that there's something in Magic Bed. And look, that's a Morph Ball.
Alrighty, we now have all of Criteria, most of Brinstar, some of Norfair open.
Yep. So this will be now a little bit of Super Metroid time for Ozzy.
Ozzy gonna turn that spacer on manually. Spacer and Plasma do not turn on automatically because they can conflict with each other because the vanilla game does not allow you to have them both equipped.
We'll setting up for the Terrapod. Even if you do have the big key, it is still faster to do the Terrapod if you can do it fast enough.
Alrighty, Ozzy has to be very careful here. This acid does 80 damage a second with no suit.
And Michael missing Terrapods. This on one heart has no other option but now to climb it normally.
Alright, Gauntlet Chozo was 20 rupees. Alrighty, there are two items on opposite sides of the room here. Ozzy's gonna try to set up a double crumble block fall. Gets it. Missiles and super missiles. The super missiles are always gonna be welcome because of the fire speed, they can be higher DPS than even the best Ice Wave Plasma Charge Shot. 20 rupees at the Terminator room. And we'll be heading to Brinstar.
abundance of items waiting for us there. As we do look for a little bit more useful items to get access to more bosses that we can do, or more dungeons linked to the past, as we can kill Kraid. And if we want to, could probably get to Phantoon, but yeah, not too much of an incentive right now.
Ozzy does the mock ball strat to roll under those gates without the speed booster. There's our first bottle. That'll open up Sick Kid back in Kakariko. There was the blue boomerang under the Crumble Bridge, and then there's one more item up here.
Blue Mane. Nice defense upgrade for Link to the Past.
Ozzy gets a very nice quick fall to grab the blue boomerang and then jump back out. Right, heading down to the Eticoons area, there are 3 items here. Kills the B-toms, which are guaranteed to drop power bombs if you are not full up on them. Jumps over 10 arrows, grabs some more super missiles, and will now fall through a fake floor. Maniacal does the same coffee break strat that Ozzy did earlier.
Standing a little bit more to the right in the middle of that block, so we'll be safer against that soft block.
Right, Eticoon Power Bomb is just blueberries. Maniacal going to Death Warp out of the Harrow basement.
Probably head back to Spiral Cave, and then we will see where Maniacal does go next.
Grapple Swing Missiles is an energy tank. That's 3 total, including the reserve tank. That's enough to Hell Run to Ice Rod, Ice Beam Cave, and Crumble Tower. Oh, and there is Quake. That is all 3 medallions at 33 minutes.
At least for our knowledge, important distinction. While both Runner have 2, Ozzy does have Quake now, while Maniacal has neither, which is in the back of his cave. That Ozzy does not have X2 just yet.
Ozzy sets himself up in a specific position so that his super missile accelerates and breaks a super missile block off screen before it can despawn from being off screen. Thus, the ways to get to this item without beating Spore Spawn, which is actually just super missile, and that's what it always is.
We'll find as it will bring Ozzy up to 13 super missiles. That's the amount needed to kill Ridley, so we have full supers. We have a pretty comfortable boss fights there at this point.
Absolutely. The magic number for Mother Brain is 60. They have the same amount of health, but Ridley takes double damage from them. Even more.
So we certainly do not have a very good amount of missiles already, so not too much to worry about tackling those bosses if we can get to them.
I don't think the logic accounts for charge beam versus ammo count, but I'm not sure.
I don't think it does.
Alrighty, Ozzy into Green Hell Zone. Gonna head down here first, as opposed to taking the door up there back to Retro Bryn. Oh, there we go. Was just checking the Green Hill Zone item. Now, gotta be careful again here. These big side hoppers, again, 80 damage a hit with no powers, with only the power suit.
use a nice damage boost here. Finds the mushroom.
Something I'm not quite clear on. Do you need to turn the mushroom into the witch to buy potions from her, or no?
No, you can always buy potions. The mushroom is just for that item. And in combination with Ganon Samaria, could be used for the fake powder glitch to check the magic bed without the powder, but...
And hey, there's our charge beam at Alpha Missiles. And Maniacal does check the inside Spectacle Rock, and that item is even more power bombs. Beta Missiles is a pack of blueberries.
And Maniacal did try to go for a bomb jump over there, scared player, to get out there a bit faster. Would have saved time and ooh.
That is our Moon Pearl as the hidden item in Billy Mays.
So, while the Metroid does not really open up anything right now, once we will find them in glove upgrades or the lab, we would have potential Darkwood access.
Meantime, Maniacal finds high jump boots just 3 screens away from this room, which is where you normally find them. And then there's a heart piece at that missile tank.
Michael decided to skip out on the Bryn Star loop for now. And we have seen the various dude. Okay.
All right. I think logical access to make it to that point is going to be 5 energy tanks, but I think Aussie and Maniacal could manage it with 4, which we have at least 4, maybe more based on how many reserve tanks Aussie has, because logic does account for reserve tanks. Oh, and there is our first lift upgrade at Crumble Tower.
Yeah, you certainly want to grab that, so Maniacal setting up to get it and get out as this room is superheated, so we'll take damage while in here.
Oh, good save. Well done.
Yeah, absolutely showing why Maniacal is one of the top runners in the Randomizer.
Aussie heading for the bomb Chorizo. Even more power bombs. We're just getting inundated with those. Alright, Maniacal heading for the ice beam room. Jumps and morphs in mid-air. Those of you who've only played the Game Boy versions might be a little confused by that. Oh, there's the morph ball bombs. But yeah, in the Game Boy version, rolling into a ball resets your upward momentum to 0. It does not do that in Super Metroid.
Michael setting up for Crystal Flash here. Will help and make it back out safely, as he will want to keep that glove.
Alrighty, Aussie is now heading for the wrecked ship, or he might go down to the Red Tower.
Chicken at least the note. Item 1 line up here, and ooh, that's the shovel. Another patch quest falling apart, so you probably want to grab it. And it looks like Aussie is setting up for the continuous war jump. Yeah.
Well done. Alrighty, Maniacal is heading for Kraid. Aussie trying to jump up here to see what the item in the Morph Ball maze is. It's a big heart.
Probably not going to pick that up.
Would surprise me very much if he did. Ooh, there's the speed booster hidden in Kraid's lair.
Yeah, we definitely do pick that up, because going fast is always good.
Absolutely. Aussie finds his fifth total energy upgrade at the bottom of the ocean. So now he definitively has enough to do the hell run to get that various suit now. Maniacal might be able to manage that with the speed booster by taking Frog Speedway to the connecting room where there's the wave beam gate. That would cut off a lot of the heated rooms to get there. Red Boomerang got spooky missiles. And Maniacal Stomachs creates mouth open for the quick kill.
Nice executed. And just an arrow capacity waiting behind us. So for the people who were wondering, we did have seen various dudes Maniacal showed us at the escape of Rock. Just on the other side of that green gate. The entrance up and off here. So we do have to take the long way around. Maniacal does know where various units. Ozzy does not.
Ozzy doing Doppler shreds on Fantoon by moving toward him as he fires missiles to again stunlock him so that he can't phase out. Finishes him off with the super missile, which, like Ridley, he takes double damage from them. But if a super missile hits him and doesn't kill him, it will instead enrage him and he'll sit at the top of the screen and waste about 30 seconds.
If that were to accidentally happen, we do have charge beam, so we could do the baby screw attack to at least get the iframes from it in vulnerability. So it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but yeah, wasting 13 seconds there, not what you want to do.
Yeah, these races always surprise me. They go for 2.5 hours or more, and yet the runners finish within minutes, if not seconds of each other.
This does show how you can do with good execution and good routing decision, making up for your mistakes.
Alright, there's our second battle at Bubble Mountain.
I believe it's first of Maniacal, so we will certainly pick that up.
Ozzy gonna make a save here, and then most likely he'll head for the wreck ship energy tank. And then if there's nothing there, he can reset back here and save the backtrack time.
Maniacal does get up. Mountain is... No. Trying to check speed booster, which is made easier by the speed booster.
Very impressive out of water bomb jump from Ozzy to get out of the water.
That is certainly not the easiest trick to do. Getting the timing and
Alright, but now
right.
we'll have to deal with the rising lava here because the trigger for that is exiting that room with the speed booster.
Just some sides here. So Ozzy does just reset.
Alrighty, there. What's left in wreck ship? There's the attic item, missiles in the sky, destructible Chozo, speed booster locked reserve tank, gravity suit. So 5 prizes left.
Important part here is Ozzy has no way to get the speed booster locked item here, but we do know that speed booster is available. So
Yeah, he can check the item.
we will see if he does decide to go. It does take a bit of time. 3 bombs here in attic. Nothing we need right now.
Monaco gonna make a save at the Croc escape, just in case.
He just has to reach that barrier suit. But he has to make it there. Gets the wall jump and has no heat protection.
Well done. Yeah, the reserve item is just missiles, so Ossie's not missing out on anything there. All right, top of the sky is more super missiles. Maniacal now finding Crocomire. Crocomire doesn't take damage the way the other bosses do. Each shot into his mouth backed him up a certain distance, and the goal is to back him up into the boiling acid. Ossie now in another coffee break area. This will give him another 30 seconds. Monaco finds super missiles at the Crocomire energy tank. Drains his health so that he can do a crystal flash to get back out of here.
Michael's second crystal flash this run.
But he's making very good use of them.
We got the ammunition for it, so why not make use of them?
Ossie laced that power bomb in a spot so that he can conserve them, which is a good thing because he hasn't seen those Morph bombs yet. But there are even more power bombs at the destructible Choso.
And Ossie does decide to grab them, which I find a slight bit curious. I mean, we are at 30, or Ossie was at 30 power bombs already. There's just so many you can use in a run, so
I don't think Ossie has seen Ossie hasn't seen that variant yet, so he's probably thinking I need as many power bombs as I can in case I have to do hell runs in Crystal Flash.
Fair point. That powerbomb pack did enable the third crystal flash.
Right, Maniacal found a heart piece at the sine wave room. Ossie heading to the red tower. Indiana Jones' item is just 10 arrows. Maniacal's not going to bother for obvious reasons. And the grappling beam item is another heart piece. Beautiful mock ball for Maniacal. 100 rupees at beta power bombs.
Even more super missiles, so getting our count up to 50 and grapple beam.
Surger 132 in chat. It depends. Charge Platinum's damage to Crocomire, it does as much damage as it does because Crocomire is not flagged to stop plasma beam shots because you're not supposed to be able to have plasma beam for him, so it passes straight through him and hits him every frame. Alrighty, Aussie heading for the X-ray scope, and Maniacal heading back to Bubble Mountain.
Using that grapple beam he just picked up, immediately turning it into something hopefully useful.
Maniacal going for wall jumps up to the Norfair Reserve area. 3 items in here. Aussie doing something? I don't know what he just did, but he got power bombs out of it. Alrighty, there's our ice beam. We now have access to charge, ice, wave, and spacer. Stack those all together, and that's 300 damage a shot, equivalent to a super missile. Only way it gets better is if we have plasma, which not only pierces enemies, but increases the charge shot damage to 900.
Well, at least our Super Metroid offense is very, very good already. Even if Maniacal does have 30 super missiles less than Aussie does, so maybe not as stacked just yet, but with all the beams found so far.
Right, wave beam room is blueberries, spacer room is red rupee. And Aussie is about to get the crates there. No sign of the gravity suit yet, although suitless Meridia can be expected on the hard logic.
And over both our runners, we have Ice Beam, we have High Jump, we have Grapple Beam. I believe that is everything you need.
You are absolutely right. Okay, so Maniacal needs to get to Billy Mays to get his Moon Pearl, and Aussie needs to get to Crumble Tower to get his glove upgrade.
But also now with the speed booster being backed up, so he has just the logical way to get to Ice Beam and the Crumble Tower. We'll probably head there pretty soon. For Maniacal,
The Mach Ball to get out there is expected by the hard logic. Alrighty, let's see if we go 2 for 2 on that crate quick kill on the restream. Well done. Aussie gets it done even faster than Maniacal did.
the last power bomb a little bit too early, so it does not reach the bomb block. Unfortunate. Both runners are doing stuff the other has already done. Nice.
Looks like the bot commands haven't been updated yet, so in the meantime, I will encourage all of you to take a little time and go follow Aussie101, and I believe Maniacal's full Twitch name is Maniacal42, or at least it used to be that. It might not be anymore, I'm not sure. Alrighty, Aussie is sitting on 5 energy tanks and at least the 1 reserve. He can very comfortably do these hell runs.
Does now get its peak of various suit and is probably almost heading straight there.
Alright, Maniacal backtracking up Green Hill Zone, so if he takes the detour over to Retro Bryn, he'll get his Moon Pearl and his Dark World access.
Not much more options left for Maniacal currently, so has to be either the spin loop or direct chip.
Looks like he's gonna do Big Ping first. Hopefully he remembers to head back to Retro Bryn.
I might see him take the route all the way back up to the ship and then go direct ship first.
He's also going to check Waterway, which I had forgotten about. The short charge here to get the Shine Spark charge it can be expected on the normal logic too, because it's one of the easiest ones to do.
I have absolutely no problems with it.
But it's just blueberries. Now, if anyone who doesn't know how that works, while you have the run button held down, Samus's speed will constantly increase, but the variable that checks if you have echoes is only increments on a certain frame of the running animation. I believe it's the front foot at full extension. So if you tap the run button around that keyframe, you can trick the game into giving you a Shine Spark at a much lower speed. Alrighty, Aussie got his various suit and then went right back to Ice Beam. He's heading for Crumble Tower and he will get his Dark World access.
I'd imagine Aussie will probably head there pretty soon.
Alright, looks like he's just going to take the long way back around instead of taking the time to try to jump back up Crumble Tower.
Which means he'll probably check Croc.
Perfect time to do it. Surger Ice was in the North Air Reserve Room.
Maniacal set up for wave gate hit, even though he has wave beam. Just forget that.
Very clean Crocomire fight from Austin. Alrighty, and with that 55 super missiles and the regular missiles he has, Aussie now has enough ammo to beat the game without the charge beam if he hadn't gotten it.
Aussie tried to get Spike Suit here. It is a double frame perfect trick, so it's not easy to get and unfortunately not get it. Not that it would have really been usable. Very important here, but you have the time to wait anyway, so why not try for it?
If I remember correctly, the spike suit is done by initiating a Shine Spark at the same time as you recoil from damage on spikes. Ozzy tries swinging across the grappling rippers, doesn't quite get it. And there is a perfect example of the short charge I was talking about.
Michael's able to do this room with the speed booster how it's intended to, which is rarely seen in any randomizer. Michael heads back up into Criteria. Michael does not have checked the gauntlet yet, and with the speed booster also able to check Criteria power bombs. That's not where the move foil is. It's still waiting all the way down Retrobrin in Billy May's room.
So, yeah, we know where Maniacal has to go. So while he's figuring that out, what is Ozzy's option?
Ozzy will finish his cleanup here of Upper Norfair first. He could potentially try and do a love dive to get to Lower Norfair, I think. The other option that would be the logical one right now, although we do a high jump. I'm not too firm in Heart's logic compromiser just yet. Lava Dive might actually be a logic, but we certainly have Dark World access on Ozzy's side, so that's one
I think
option.
Maniacal just dipped in and out of Link to the Past to force the game to save. Definitely quicker than going to the ship and doing it that way. But yeah, he's heading for Retro Brain. He'll get his moon pearl shortly.
It is.
Oh yeah, Chef Supers.
That's safest setup for Maniacal to just be able to reset to the ship if Retrobrand does not have his progression in the rest ship. But he did not have to climb back up.
Chef Supers is just 20 rupees. Maniacal doesn't bother grabbing it. I don't think we've seen the old Mother Brain item. I don't think Ozzy got it. But it's just a heart piece.
Should we? Huh. And this looks like Ozzy is indeed heading to Lower Norfair. If I get this not mistaken.
Yeah, he's got energy for 3 crystal flashes here if the attempt to wall jump up through here goes sour. I believe the lava dive is also expected.
Yeah. With high jump, it certainly is. Stalling a bit to not get hit by the Nightmare Flame.
And Ozzy makes it look easy. Alright, Ozzy cannot go to the left because that Chozo will only activate and drain the lava if you have space jump. That is why the Showcase Showdown item is hard locked by space jump. But again, we are on hard logic, so this green gate glitch is absolutely a logic. Five shots to get it, not bad. And Maniacal gets his Moon Pearl. Screw Attack Chozo is still more power bombs. Aussie is gonna check the... Oh, Showcase Showdown is the other tunic upgrade. Very doubtful that we'll see that. And meantime, Aussie is gonna fight the Gold Torizo. Got himself perfectly positioned so the Gold Torizo cannot hit him. And he's just gonna pump super missiles into him until he dies.
55 seconds, so it's all over. It was just at 50. It's still way more than enough to just...
Aussie can also go from here over to the Misery Mire area if he wants to. There's 2 items there, and he can also check the Mire Medallion. It would also give him a Dark World map check.
So I think the biggest incentives here are the 2 items in Mire Shed and the knowledge about the Mire Medallion. But there's not much else Aussie can do here right now. Ether Medallion, but Mire is a pendant. Swamp Palace.
Other pendant is Swamp, the other red crystal is Turtle Rock.
So, interesting point of this here is with Swamp Palace pendant, we might not necessarily need the mirror. That does mean though we would need the book for desert access, but yeah, that mirror might just be hiding out in GT, so that can be something you have to plan for in your routing.
Alright, looks like the mushroom turn-in is just blueberries, and Maniacal's buying some potions.
This is now taking the trip into the Dark World at Hyde Cave.
Ozzy gets a very precise wall jump to get out of the Screw Attack Chozo room. Oh, alright, the runner's command is fixed. Ozzy shine sparks through fast pillars and onto the worst room in the game, but he has all the tools necessary to make it a joke. And unfortunately for Maniacal, absolutely nothing doing in Hyde Cave.
Interesting how Maniacal does want to continue this. Helen, right? So it might be a permit check. This might be the way over to Palace of Darkness, which is a pendant, so we do not need to complete it.
But that's unfortunate. Ozzy falls through the crumble blocks here, so he's gonna have to take the long way around back to Fast Pillar, back to the room past the rippers.
Nigel shakes the permit and finds Springboard.
Not a mandatory item, but very nice to have, especially Maniacal has the Morph Ball bombs, Ozzy doesn't. So if Ozzy fought, it would be more useful for Ozzy than it is for Maniacal.
Also, we were speaking about Suitless Meridia earlier. Springboard, yet another item that does enable those checks to be in logic.
Ooh, Ozzy getting low on health.
Yeah, these pirates, if they hit you and you do not have gravity suit, they take you a full energy tank off of you, so...
All right, Aussie takes them out to make the trip a little safer. Maniacal approaching the catfish. Oh, there's our gravity suit on the catfish. How about that?
That is a very nice find. And catfish is one of the locations that many runners do not really want to check that often. So,
all right, that is more or less Super Metroid Go mode.
Certainly a big find here for Maniacal.
All right, what are we looking at for Link to the Past Go mode? I think just Pegasus boots are possible if Desert or Ganon's Tower are boots locked. Mirror would be necessary if we have it would be necessary if there's progression in Swamp.
That's the other option. Yeah. What we definitely need are the Ice Rods, the Titan Smiths, and maybe the Woods. We do have knowledge about all 3 medallions.
Is it possible for the flippers to not be required if there's nothing in Swamp?
Logically, they would be required, but with Swamp Dependent, they are not hard required. You can take them advice. Flippers could not be required.
Chad pointing out that we might, if we don't find Mirror, we would need Book for access to Desert.
Yeah, that's the trade-off. We do need access to Desert, so we now need either the Book or the Mirror.
And there it is in Mama Turtle.
So no Book needed. So it's basically just the Titan Smiths, the Ice Rod. We'll have to see if we will need the boots. Desert and Ganon's Tower both make it known very early if you're going to need the boots for them, do they not? Yeah. If you want to just so in Desert you have just one item that is not boots locked. And if that is not the key, you will need the boots. Or is not the big key, you will definitely need the boots. It can also be the small key locking the big key on the right side, so you would not need the boots, but speaking of them, there they are.
That's 2 items we've mentioned and then showed up in the next 5 seconds. Meantime, Maniacal is checking the top of Meridia. Beach was nothing. Watering hole we just saw was nothing.
This can be interesting if the Titan Smiths are in Desert, because that would require Aussie to head back through Super Metroid to get back into the Maya area with that mirror. Maniacal will be able to do that on this first trip down to Lower North.
Starting Maniacal into the Aqueduct room, there are 2 items in here. Simple Shine Spark up here for blueberries. And 300. Maniacal is very low on health. Looks like he's gonna farm here for a bit. Maniacal has enough energy to finish the game. Mother Brain's Rainbow Beam will do 300 damage to progress the cutscene. But the magic number for energy tanks that we're looking for is 7. If we have that, we can do stand-up glitch, which lets you start fighting Mother Brain's 3rd phase earlier. Done perfectly, you can bring her all the way to 0 health before the cutscene ends, and then you may need. Oh, there's our other glove upgrade.
Okay, so across our runners, we only definitely need Ice Rod. Then we could already be in go mode.
Well, there's our second shield upgrade. First one was on the floating island. So what do we need the ice rod for?
We need to kill Trinix.
Oh yes, yes. Right, Turtle Rock is the other red crystal. It's not the red pendant. I got a brain fart. Maniacal sees that there's nothing in the right sand pit, so he resets back to his save. And unfortunately, this seed is going to be an ice rod hump because, if I remember my Link to the Past logic correctly, the only place it can't be is on Trinix himself, correct?
Yeah, aside from Ganon's Tower, which is of course locked behind Red Rock's crystal, Trinix is the only other check in Link to the Past that could not have the ice rod.
Right.
And also it could be in every check here in Super Metroid that has not their logical requirements locked by either Trinix or GT. GT cannot lock progression in Compromiser.
Oh my! Monago gets an absolutely beautiful ice clip to get to Shack Tool. I've never seen it done that fast.
Just another proof of those two runners we have here on Restream being two of the absolute top runners here in Compromiser.
Question from chat. Ozzy is absolutely capable of doing Sueless Meridia. The question is whether there are any items in Meridia that are locked that you can't get to without the gravity suits that are needed.
Don't think we have
Yeah, like if that ice rod is here at Shack Tool, you have to. I'm pretty sure gravity suit is mandatory for it. That's the thing.
Not an ice rod. It's a lamp. So Shakur logically required for the seed.
Alrighty, Ozzy heading back to Link to the Past. What's he gonna do from here?
What the
Oh, we also need another sword. We're still on Fighter's sword.
That is absolutely true.
It looks like Ozzy's gonna take those mitts and check Dark Death Mountain.
6 quick checks here. Does give him information about the Third Rock medallion. As Ozzy did not check back of his cape yet, where we can remember his ether medallion. So, yeah, certainly useful information for Ozzy still at this point. And that could be an interesting thing if Ozzy decides to skip out on that if it's required. Otherwise, not. Well then.
Alrighty, that is no mode, I believe. No, bow. We need bow is the last thing.
We completely forgot about the bow. We do need to finish Eastern. So not no mode, but bow mode.
Another bottle for Ozzy. And $300 more. Alrighty, Ozzy heading over to Turtle Rock, see the medallion, and they're both ether today. So yeah, Ozzy's gonna need to get to the back of his cape.
Which are 3 quick checks, but in Compromiser especially, those 3 are sometimes so late in logic, because you get your gloves pretty late. that you do not really have it as in priority location anymore, as because you are probably more likely wanting check or wanted to check crystal dungeons. Will be interesting when us decides to get that.
Well, there's sword number 2. Monaco setting up for a screen wrapping wave beam shot.
And
Went for mockball speed bouncing. Didn't quite get it. That would have been really cool though.
he was really close. He just bombed at the last corner before the door here.
Oh hey, it looks like Aussie is in the right position to check the back of escape.
Potentially, he does check Kingston burst. And yep, that's the back of escape check.
Alrighty, so that's bow mode for Aussie. Gravity and Aussie is absolutely capable of finish. Depending on where the bow is, Aussie might not get that gravity suit.
He does still need to grab that mirror though, or find the book.
Yeah, Mama Turtle can be checked without the gravity suit. You just need to ride her up and then grapple onto the grapple block that the mirror is sitting on.
Gravity not needed for Aussie. That's certainly, or up until this point. But, yeah. That mirror he will have to grab at some point, or like I said, locate the book. But with the mirror being found, the book may just hide out in GT, so he may not have a chance to find it.
I guess Aussie did not check Lumberjack Ledge earlier, so he's doing that now. Sees it's just missiles.
You do need boots to get that item, so many runners, or many Link to the Past runners, do not check Lumberjack until they find the boots. Too surprising. And now Ozzy heading into the dark world here at Witch Podcast. And is going to check Thief Town. First, taking a peek at the chess game as Michael just check the ticket and okay. Tempered sword for Ozzy. At the chess game. While without the Maniacal has to take the long way to the Starfall portal. And it's starting out with Skullwoods here. Even more super missiles for Aussie here in Thieves Town.
Question in chat: We can get to Dragon without the gravity suit because we have grapple beam to get through the amphitheater and the room before it. And we can also backdoor to that area from Dark Ice Rod. Well, actually, I think the Shack Tool Ice Clip might put it in Montic without gravity, but I'm not 100% sure. You might not be able to get back out without gravity.
I believe that specific script is not in logic. I think I read something about it originally was, but it was taken out.
Where did we find our third sword? I missed it.
That was a chess game just before us hit these stuff. So
Okay.
now we'll be able to grab that soon. More rupees here. The maiden chest in these down. Also, it does have the small key, so we'll check the big chest.
Alright, let's see what's here. A heart piece to fill one up for a refill.
Well, Maniacal heading into the back of the woods and heading over to Mothula. Maniacal deciding to save some magic by using the lamp instead of the fire rod to light those torches.
Not a bad idea since what's it called? The fire rod does very good damage to Mothula. I believe it does gold sword equivalent to him.
Nope. Not on Morph. The fire rod does only master sword damage to Mothula, so...
Oh.
While it's still better than the fighter sword that Maniacal is still on, probably just better to just pull out the hammer like Maniacal did and do tempered sword damage.
And I feel like somebody was having a really bad day when they designed the Mothula fight. Conveyor belt floor, moving spikes, Mothula himself, he doesn't take damage if you knock him into a spike. Why? Who hurt you, game designer?
That's the fun thing about this boss. If you try to play Randomizer into the past with boss shuffle, you very soon will come to the knowledge that this boss fight is not about the boss. The boss is easy. The boss arena that's really annoying. But if you fight Mothula anywhere else, you really notice just how easy of a fight that is.
There's another energy tank at the hammer pegs.
While Michael does find a missile pack in back of Skullwoods.
Alrighty, was that both prizes?
I believe so.
Greetings to our rating party of 22 from Speed Gaming 2. We are about 90 minutes into a Super Metroid Link to the Past combo randomizer hard logic race. And to answer a question from Tap, 7 energy tanks is required for stand-up glitch because after the first rainbow beam, if you have enough energy to take another one, the game will let you stand up. But then if you quickly take enough damage that you can't survive another one, the cutscene will progress even though you're still standing up. And that's what lets you trigger the stand-up glitch. That's the stand-up glitch. Basically, the two checks are desynced enough. The check for can you survive another and can you get up are desynced from each other.
Both our runners are trading places in dungeons. Ozzy is tackling Skullwoods. Will do have an easier mob fight though. Meanwhile, Maniacal is going to head into Thieves Town.
Actually, Serger, thank you for asking the question. I've never been able to articulate it like I just did, and I don't know that there was I don't know that I ever actually knew the reason until just now, but I just kind of clicked. Aussie Bomb jumps across to the Skullwood's big chest, gets another energy tank out of it. I think that's 7. I think that's enough. I don't remember if you can do it alongside reserve tanks, but I've never tried to do it like that myself. I did a lot of messing around with stuff like that back in the days of ZSNES, doing no boss, no mini boss, maximum item collection runs.
From what I heard, I'm pretty sure you need 7 actual energy tanks for it. Reserve tanks do not count for that.
And Zanny97 in chat confirmed that. Thank you.
While you can use reserve tanks to survive a rainbow beam, you cannot use them for standard damage. It would be technically possible to survive this game on 1 tank and 2 reserve tanks. Finish the game. Yeah. Not so for stand up. Austin with the tempered source does not have really need to conserve its magic. He would have gotten on full magic refill though if he wanted to, but no need for it. This fight with Morph will be over very quickly. Just going here for poke strats to get few tempered sword hits in before the mod even really starts moving.
Makes it look like a joke.
If you can get those dash pokes in and double well with them, half the fight is already over before it began, so this can be pretty fast.
Okay, so thinking ahead, Swamp, Ice, Mire, O could be on pedestal, right?
Could not be.
Oh no, Pod.
Right.
Pod is one of the pendants. Yes, no,
So
we can't.
we have the true definition of a pedestal. There's nothing on there that we could need. Maybe might be on there, but then we say, we have enough superverse, who needs that? Even if not, we would have charge beam, so that's technically all we would need.
Looks like Aussie is gonna fake flipper over to Obo. And that'll get him to Zora's domain too, I believe.
If he so desires, I could see him head into Ice Level first. Instead a crystal dungeon. Although that would force him to save and quit. With the flute he could just flute back to 8 and set up another fake flipper if he wants to check this our area.
Alrighty, let's see what he goes for.
That's the ice palace check.
Alrighty. 3 prizes in here, and hopefully one of them is not on cold stare.
It would not really be that bad, actually. Aussie does have the cane, so we can use Icebreaker. And with Icebreaker, full clearing Ice Palace is actually not that much slower than promoting it. Now, if we would not have the cane of Samari here and would have to do it with an Ice Palace bomb jump, then it would be really painful to full kill this dungeon. But This way, the only really out of the way chest in this dungeon is Ice Cube.
Alrighty, thank you for that info.
He decides to flip the switch. This would enable him to not need the big key to finish this dungeon. There is some debate about if you want to flip the switch, if you are still searching for items. But with 2 items out of Ice Palace already found, there's certainly an upside for it. If Ozzy does find the 3rd one, he can just head straight to Cold Stair. Skip everything else.
Is there any benefit to killing Cold Stair since we know Pet is dead?
You get a crystal?
I thought Ice was a pendant.
Nope. Swamp is pendant.
Oh,
And mine.
Swamp Pod and Turtle. Swamp Pod and
Mystery Mine.
Meyer. Thank you. Sorry. Just got. Ugh. It's been a long race already.
Yeah.
Oh, and looks like there's our last sword at the dig game.
And that's one that Ozzy did not grab. So both are runners on Tempered Sword, but with different locations for it.
Well done on the bomb jump. There's the big key.
About this bomb jump there from that door to the left, that is maybe the easiest bomb jump in the game. Because you can just go from the door straight up until in the corner, or up in the corner, place the bomb to the right, in that corner up there, and you will be blasted over there. There's literally no reason to miss that bomb jump.
In the meantime, there was the 3rd prize in the big chest, just a pack of missiles. And Ozzy will be taking on Cold Stair. He does not have full medic, so he's going to have to use bombos to melt the shell.
He does have full
Oh, now
magic
he
pots.
does.
Yeah, there are 2 more magic pots here before they drop down, so it's not too bad. And
Oh,
even
well,
if I
Sorry.
believe Ozzy does have a good potion.
Absolutely beautiful grouping strat on the puffs for the map.
Making use of their tempered sword. Now Michael here. And the fake flipper. Wonder if he is also had an overdrive palace. The big difference here between our runners is that Ozzy already did Lower Norfair, where we have found our boots and the Titan Smiths. Those 2 items being the ones limiting.
What did Ozzy just do?
Having a little bit of fun with the mushroom vermin and the witch. Nice visual glitch. Can be fixed quite easily by getting inside here.
Feels like every time I watch Ozzy on a region, he blows my mind again.
It's really not a glitch that has an upside to it aside from its visuals. So it's nice party trick for restream occasions, but not helpful in saving time.
All right, Maniacal is heading for King Zora. There was nothing at the ledge. I don't think there was anything in the Waterfall of Wishing. So let's see if this is anything. Not really.
I mean, some more supers, not the worst that could have been here, but it's nothing Maniacal would actually look for right now. And looks like Aussie is heading over to Turtle Rock. It is a full clearable red crystal, so 5 items in there, and one of the dungeons you need to finish.
And desert is the other red crystal, so don't have access to that pyramid theory yet.
Although we know that with the mirror you would have. Still,
Okay, yeah, the bow could be a pyramid fairy, correct?
it absolutely can, yes. That pyramid fairy is in logic across both of our runners. Neither do have the requirements at the moment, though.
And Maniacal has some creamy, delicious golden butter.
Michael starting here at the mountain. I imagine this is probably the lower North trip. Michael does not have anything left on the mount to do right now with automates.
Yeah, he's taking the cross-game portal.
So he has gravity, he has high jump, he has morph ball bomb, so he has everything you could have wished for, except from the actual items that would make this pretty easy. Good lower North there.
Alrighty, there's one Turtle Rock prize. Using the hookshot iframes to get through the rollers.
This front of TR is pretty key heavy. We have quite a few key doors to traverse. So with 2 small keys already found, we might find another one here. We do not need to. This could just also be an item or the big key.
Heartbeats.
This means we have a vanilla big key in Turtle Rock. We cannot skip the lava chest. With items still missing, there would probably no one skip that. Important distinction here. Maniacal going for the Green Lake Witch will head into the Maya area and will be able to mirror over to Desert, but he does not have that boots yet, which we know they are over at Redley. So if Desert is boot stopped, he will have to get back there. Won't be able to finish the dungeon at that point.
Alrighty, Maniacal fighting the Gold Chorizo. Aussie heading for...
More key here in the big chest. So that enables the next chest to be another item.
Alrighty, let's see where we go from here. Maniacal is indeed heading to the Mire area.
Getting that information about Desert is pretty important here.
Found the bug net.
Because if Desert Palace is not bootlocked, Maniacal might not actually need them at all.
Checkerboard Cave is just an energy tank. Alrighty, 4 chests on Laser Bridge. I believe one of these has to be a small key. There's the compass. There's the small key. Does that leave our last prize on Try Next, or is it the map?
I did not pay full attention. Cannot remember the map pickup though, so there might be none left. So, Knuckles sees the small key. This might not be boot slot. It's logically, at least. But if Knuckles does grab the big key here, he at least will be able to fight Landmolars. And he does. So, this is good for Maniacal right now. He can finish the dungeon and does not have to come back here. But he will at most get one item. And if the bow is on the right side here in Desert, that could be potentially very, very bad.
That'd be a pretty hard orphan.
There's the map. So nothing left on Try Next. Just the R-dip did not really pay out for us. At least, not yet.
Alrighty, so Aussie is now sitting on 4 crystals.
I think it's actually 5 as he did complete Ice Block.
Yes, you're right. So we're missing Desert and Eastern, because we're still looking for that bow.
I don't think there's much left for us, so this will probably be the Meridia check, and this looks... No? No?
I don't think he ever looked in Spectacle Rock.
Do that.
Or... Oh, he might be taking the... Do you need the book to check the tablets or just the sword?
No, you need the book to read them.
Never mind.
You can read them without the sword and get information about the item on there. But you cannot read them without the book. Even if you have butter sword.
Oh, that's right. Aussie never checked the Gina, so he's getting that done now.
Cleaning up a few checks he left out earlier before getting to Meridian. Oh! Maniacal feeling spicy and independent Meyer here.
Alrighty. Meyer has 2 prizes, so we'll see if either of those wind up being that bow we need.
Whereas Maniacal is still looking for quite a few items. With mitts, ice rods.
He needs the boots, the ice rod, the bow, possibly the both our runners might need the flippers if it turns out that bow is hiding in swamp.
Yep. That's a potential option here. And okay, Aussie still not going for Meridia as he is the Dark World here still to check. Went down from the Village podcast.
How fast of a trip is it from here to Dark Ice Rock? Because that's where the cross-game portal leading to the back of Meridia is.
This might be his intention with the routing to sooner or later reach that. Because he can get back there from Catfish with the water portal. But the important thing here is probably he does decide to skip out on big game and race game. Big game something.
Did we see Stumpy earlier? If we did, I missed it.
I'm pretty sure Maniacal did something. There was nothing important on it. Would be really surprised if Maniacal didn't do Stumpy when he went, when he was at the race, the digging game where he got his tempered sword.
Gotcha.
So Ozzy is heading up to Catfish.
I think that's our last bottle in Misery Mire.
Which is also the first of 2 items in there. Also interesting point or interpretation for that bottle as the key logic in Misery Mire sometimes enables you to deduce where some things can be or where the items could be. The item being there in the first Firelog chest is one of the layouts of items that tells you pretty much nothing.
Alrighty, Ozzy's got his gravity suit.
He did not have that in, therefore he did not really want to do. While Maniacal found the big key. So we have now confirmation that I believe either the compass or the second item is in the cutscene chest. And if I did not look, or if I did not miss something, and we did collect map and compass here, Maniacal can actually know that there's the second item in the cutscene chest, and he is going to check it.
The cutscene chest is vanilla big key, right?
Yep. Oh.
Ooh, it looks like Ozzy took a death out of the waterwalk stage.
Yeah, and he definitely intended to get to Dark Rise Rock here. Unfortunate. Yeah. Currently there is an kind of safety net built into Link to the Past Rando. That was built in pretty early. But also in Combo Rando, where if you take a hit in a fake flipper or waterwalk state, you die instantly from any health. Because if you would not die from a fake flipper, the game would actually try to put you back to where you jumped in the water, and if it was not on the screen you were on, the game would do funny things.
Alrighty, Ozzy.
Oh, funny.
Sorry.
So, yeah, to prevent that kind of almost soft block, there was fix implemented for that, which kills you instantly if you take damage while infected.
Alrighty, so Ozzy in the front of Meridia, so he will most likely get his mirror out of this, along with all of the other checks that we've already seen Maniacal do, as Maniacal is getting his lower Morph here in.
Important checks that both of our runners are making here. Maniacal have farm up some missiles, and yeah, that mirror puts Ozzy in actual bow mode.
As Surger in chat, yeah, that is unfortunate because yeah, if Mimic Cave is the only thing that locks, I think. But if that's where the boat is, that is also a pretty hard last location.
Yes, it is. Although Ozzy does not have much else left to do, I'd say. Aside from Meridia here, right, currently. thing with Palace of Darkness is that it can just be absolutely bow locked, and if it is, there's no reason to search for the bow in it, as in Compromiser, as you mentioned at the beginning here. This is built off of an earlier version which does not have the two progressive bows. Instead, there are bow and the silver arrows, so just one bow to find, which cannot be bow locked. So this Palace of Darkness might actually be, even if it has up to 5 items, there might not actually be anything in it that we could beat.
Alrighty, Ozzy is on 8 energy tanks, so he will be able to do stand-up, although we're still looking for plasma to make it worth doing. The Ice Wave Spacer charge shots, they don't quite, it's not enough DPS for it to be worth the risk you take. Alrighty, and Ozzy will also be the first one to the back. Ozzy will also be the first one to the back of Meridia, so we'll see what's here.
3 more items left unchecked here. And finding the bow there would be pretty big for Ozzy.
There's the Atom Pass Bomb Wound, we'll see that in a few seconds. Precious Missiles right before Dragon. We got him behind Dragon, and then Dragon also unlocks Plasma Beam. Gonna go for a Shine Spark across this room, call it the full halfy. He gets it. That's a very tight spark. Precious Missiles is a heart piece.
Almost to the Dragon.
Yes, Mitz can't. Surger, Plasma has not been found. And to talk about Mire, yes, Mitz can be in Mire because of the cross game portal in Lower Northfield, but you get to the Mire area without the Mitz. You don't have to flute to 6.
If we would not have found them earlier, it could have been on pedestal here in the seats, depending on where the flippers are.
Hello to our rating party of 36 from Speed Gaming Prime. We are about 2 hours into a Link to the Past Super Metroid combo randomizer race on the hard logic. We are looking for the bow, and potentially that's it for Go Mode.
Definitely it for... Okay. The bow is the one thing we need, but there's the possibility that we would need the flippers to get the bow. Flippers themselves are not necessarily needed by our runners.
Yeah, the flippers are non-mandatory unless they are locking the bow.
Yes, both of our runners have fake flipper to ice pellets, I believe. Although did Manai? Or did he just do that? I think Maniacal did not do ice pellets yet. So he would.
I have not seen. Maniacal has not done ice pellets, not that I've seen.
He has proven that he does know how to fake flipper since he checked the outer area.
Alright, Aussie is most likely now going to check those sand pits and Shack Tool.
True. Right, Maniacal never grabbed the Titansmith. Because he will get them pretty soon, so he wouldn't have been able to do ice pellets, right? I always forget about in Compromiser that the mids actually do stuff.
Alright, Aussie sees that the left sand pit is a bust. He'll probably head for the right one and do Shack Tool at the same time now. We know that those are also busts, so I very much doubt that he's going to keep that lamp. He is absolutely at a high enough skill level that he doesn't need it.
I'd be pretty surprised if he does keep it.
Yeah. At this, I don't like to call a lead until at least one runner is in go mode. But I will agree. What I think Chad is saying, Aussie's execution has absolutely been on point today.
For sure. Has spotted his Titan's mids. He's now on the way to grab them.
We haven't seen Dig Spot, have we?
I don't think so.
I'm trying to think of what we have left. Dig Spot, Smith, Lunchbox, our Pendant Dungeons, Mimic Cave.
Well, we did have Maniacal and Meyer, so Meyer's out.
Right.
And yeah. Swamp is out until we find the flippers, and Palace of Darkness is depending on is it Bulldog or not.
Alrighty, it looks like Aussie is probably heading around to what? Plasma. Or he might be orphaning that and going to Dark Ice Rod.
I think it's more likely here. Because for Aussie, he has now the Desert Palace he can do. He has the Red Bomb unlocked, which are required things to do. There's not just one item. Okay, setting up a water walk. Because Aussie never did check Zora and the Waterfall Fairy. Not something you see often. Late. But water walk definitely faster than just take flip in.
Alrighty, let's see where this leads us. Monacle's about to turn the Smith in.
And 2 hammer packs here. I'd imagine this will now be Desert Palace check for Aussie.
Capacity upgrade on the Smiths, and Aussie will be able to finish Desert at this point, and that will give him the Pyramid Fairy.
Also, Aussie will be able to check the right side of Desert Palace to get an additional item check. He does have the boots.
Is it guaranteed that that's an item, or could the other price be on Land Bolas?
Well, we have seen Demo and we have gotten Compass in the big chest, so there has to be at least one item on the right side.
Oh, that's right. Maniacal did my Bolas. I didn't catch that.
Yep. We got the small key here in the torch, we got the big key in the middle chest, and we got a compass in the big chest. So, regardless of land molars, there has to be an item on the right side.
Got it.
Because there's 2 items and just 3 chests left. 2 of them on the right side. Do you think Landmore had actually an item which was not important, but I could misremember?
I also do not remember. Like, I somehow missed that whole fight. Alright, that's missiles.
So that's 2 items still left in Desert Palace for Maniacal, but he won't miss them. Maniacal is able to give us an additional check, which Ozzy was not able to do when he was up here in Graveyard Edge.
Alrighty, let's see what's here.
That is Space Jump.
Not too useful at this point, but I believe it makes the baby Metroid skip easier.
Will also make Maniacal's eventual dragon fight and the way to and back from it a bit nicer.
Alrighty, and we've got another raiding party from Speed Gaming 3 this time, 65 watchers. Welcome to the 2 hour and 7 minute mark of this Link to the Past Super Metroid Combo Randomizer race. We are just looking for the bow for Go mode. Possibly flippers if they're locking the bow, which is absolutely possible at this point.
And also Maniacal does need to pick up the ice rod.
Where was the ice rod? I can't remember.
That is a very good question that I was about to ask you.
I think it might have been the Thieves Town Big Chest.
In that case, Maniacal should have it.
Oh, he did Thieves Town. Okay, no. Not that then. Chat, do any of you guys remember?
It was comparatively early.
Spectral Lumina says Dark Death Mountain. Okay.
Right.
Oh, right, it was Super Bunny Cave.
Yeah. Now I remember. Michael collecting those 2 checks here in Desert. They are fairly quick checks for 2 items. Not what he was looking for, and I think Michael
Sorry.
will not buy Palace. Nope, stay in logic. Going to do Dark Death Mountain, so we'll find the ice rod and we'll probably head right into Top Rock after that.
Alrighty, it looks like Aussie is doing the dig game. This was the 4th sword, right?
Yep. The interesting check that we will be waiting for here will be K45.
I believe Maniacal checked Q45. I think it was blueberries.
Might be, yeah, he did do this chain.
I definitely got the Smith chain to do. I don't think that. I think Maniacal did Lunchbox, but if he did, I didn't see it. Talia Serene saying Bo has to be dig spot. What? Walk us through your. If you've got a logic chain there, walk us through it. I think there are still a few other places it could be.
There definitely can be other places, because neither runner has been to Palace of Darkness, and whatever else in this dungeon happens, that first chest can have anything.
Alrighty, Aussie gonna do the lunchbox. Maniacal doing Spike Cave. Hookshot Cave. Can't talk. Yes, K45 was blueberries.
Michael will head into the rock.
And yeah, Aussie is in the perfect place to do dig spot, so... Okay, yeah, Stumpy was a heart piece. There it is, there's the ball at dig spot. Good call, Talia. Alrighty, Aussie is now in go mode at 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 30 or so seconds. Alrighty, so... 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, just got... Aussie has go mode pod, finish... Go mode pod, finish Eastern, and then the end games.
No.
Or what am I... Okay, what am I
just
missing?
to the Eastern.
Oh, right! Pod is dependent.
Alright.
Okay, so yeah, Eastern and then the end games. Yeah, this is... I don't think Maniacal's going to be able to come back from this. I think Aussie's built up too much of a lead from how good his execution has been.
I don't know. Do you imagine Aussie is about falling 32 times at Ganon? If not, then I think Aussie will win. At least here on Restream.
I think the shovel was somewhere in Super Metroid Hydropower. Raylan, do you remember where it was?
Not directly, but I do want to say it was somewhere noticeable, so I believe on a bottom or something like that. I might have seed lead here though, and confused it with another seed I played today earlier. Oh, I think, yeah. Wasn't the shovel over at the moment where Aussie did the continuous wall jump?
Yes, that's it. Thank you, Sparks Limina and Lady Mouse.
Yeah, I kind of remembered something like that. I kind of remembered the shovel being somewhere exposed in some way.
Alrighty, and that is 7 crystals, so let's play a little game. There are 22 locations in Ganon's Tower where the big key can be, so get your guesses in as to which one you think it is. I'm going to go with what I always go with. 4 always wins, despite the fact that it's only won once.
I disagree, it's 3. You're just slightly off there.
If we have any moderators in the chat and maybe get a channel play prediction game going, that would be spectacular. Surger, Bo is at Dig Spot.
A little bit unlucky here with the dead drops. The most annoying enemies of Link to the Past, Randomizer. Because you cannot kill them, except for if you use Quake Medallion or Powder to transform them first.
What does the powder turn them into? I've never seen that done.
What the powder generally does and turn enemies into, it's just some flying-like enemy blob that is not at all dangerous. Can be killed with pretty much anything.
Gotcha. Yes, Surger is correct. This has been a very quick seed.
And it could have been even quicker if you just checked that big spot earlier. You had all the means to. Okay, starting in the Hope Room does not get a key, so it's forced to go left.
All right, if the big key is here, it is not. That is a red ruby.
So now I have the Sulfur Room to check for items, or for checks to make. Okay, half magic is nice. This make the time a little bit smoother.
And it looks like I lost.
And continuing left.
Yeah, Dr. Pie, Dick Spot was the bow for Gomer.
That's actually interesting. With that boomerang threat, I have not seen someone throw the boomerang around the switch there in that way.
Removed Reb, yeah, Shovel was at the milk between Criteria and the wreck ship.
Could have been collected and checked very, very early on. Although you kind of had to find the Morph ball, which was a bit buried.
What number are we on now? I've lost count.
2, 3, 7, 8, 9. This should be 10 to 13.
Nothing doing.
So upcoming would be 14 and Bob's chest. Bob being the anti-fairy that is a little bit glitched if you do not pick up the item at the torch here in Ganon's tower.
And then 15, 16, 17 in the big key room, 18 to 21 in the compass room, and then 22 for tile room.
Most likely. We won't need to check for that, as number 14 is where the big key is today.
Looks like nobody guessed 14. Specialist 0815 was closest with 13. Alrighty, Aussie is beginning the ascent.
And a nice fairy drop there. Not really necessary, but why not pick it up? And I will go in for that red bomb. Important point here, Maniacal never went to the wrecked ship, I think, so never checked the mode, which means he does not have to shovel, which is kind of the problem here.
Alright, Maniacal is doing the big bomb, but unfortunately we know this can't be anything now. Searcher, we still haven't seen Plasma Beam.
All of our runners should be on the Charge Ice Wave base beam combo, but right now was not found at all.
Aussie goes for Wizrobe strats on both Samaria strats on both Wizrobe rooms. Makes it look real swag.
One of the most satisfying strats into past randomizers. Or general in the speedrun. Doing the rooms in one swoop.
I don't think there was any progression in Ice Palace, which means that there's a pretty large number of places where the flippers could be, since Ice Palace is a crystal, so they are mandatory.
Yeah. I do not think there was anything here in Ice, and now that we know that the bow was actually pretty accessible, Palace of Darkness and the 6 items when you count the green pendant in it can easily have flippers. Because gravity was also accessible without any of that. Oh, and
Aussie going for the swag, trying to bomb jump to skip Moldorm too.
Yep. Unfortunately, does miss his setup there. Maybe the
Again, Aussie doing this live in a race I was commentating was the first time I ever saw the Moldorm 2 skip, and again, my mind was blown.
Aussie has a pretty fast, pretty consistent setup for it. I do have a slower setup, which I do like way more because I cannot do it like Aussie does. But yeah, it's actually one of the tricks that I also have in my repertoire, and it's always satisfying to do.
All right, trigonometry boss, Aga 2. Just a one hit there. Ooh, this is a good setup. That's a triple. So
yeah, what usually happens with the setup when they all line up is what you saw just there. The original Egger will throw a blue ball at you, and you are wondering why always.
Yeah, so that was a 1-3-1-1, I believe.
Solid fight. Nothing too great. You really want to have that 3 cycle at least. Sometimes just not there. And yeah, this Ganon fight will be pretty fast. 6 slashes for each of the 2 first phases. Spin or slash will not matter in this case. They will all do the same damage regarding completion. Also, this dash pokes also would do the same damage as the slash. First 2 phases of Ganon already down.
Aussie making him look like a chump.
Power of the Butter Sword. Third phase. 4 slashes. They each hit 1 row of tiles on the outside. Drops. And then for phase 4, it's 4 silver arrows. If Ganon does decide to stop teleporting here. Yes, we did find those silver arrows at Hyrule Castle.
Torch glitch achieved by relighting the first torch before the second can go out, so the second one will never go out. It's the double to finish off the big pig. We got bacon. Kick your single G's in chat, folks.
On the other hand, Michael starting his cold stare fight, also with the Butter Sword. This should be over just as fast. But misses the initial spin to group them up in the top right corner, so Michael has a bit of cleanup to do here, but 4 slashes per puff will end this boss fight as well. Has to be a bit careful though, cold state does do quite a bit of damage still on Blumere.
Alrighty, Aussie saves and quits from the top of the pyramid, and then hard resets to respawn at the ship, and he will for sure be almost for sure be taking a refill here. Just top everything up. That 70 super missiles, that is beyond enough to finish Mother Brain. And yeah, that's those super missiles are actually going to be better DPS than the charge beam because we never found the plasma.
Michael heading back into the Village of Outcasts portal.
Alrighty, the Metroid to take 5 missiles or a single super. I don't remember if Aussie got the Morph Ball bombs.
Decker says he does, I'm not sure. But over on the Michael side there is a fun little water walk setup happening. Set up in Skull Woods. He is not allowed to jump southward so he won't land on the water or else he loses water walk. But Michael is probably intending to head to the back entrance. So Meridia here over at Dark Ice Road Cave.
Alright, over on Aussie's side, getting ready to attempt the baby Metroid skip. Loses it pretty early, that's unfortunate, but it does happen like that sometimes. It's a very hard trick to pull off.
Kinda looked like he did start a bit early, so I had to back up and try again and could not recover.
Aussie remembering pace to the right as the Metroid drops him, because for whatever reason, you stand up 45 frames faster when you do that.
Oh,
But now he's going for the full happy spark there and whiffed it right at the end of the wall jumps. Alrighty, Aussie 101 into the final stretch.
While Maniacal keeping the somewhat simultaneous fights up, now doing Dragon.
Aussie destroys the first Epitite and then does a different skip to get past the second one. Haven't seen that strat before, that was interesting.
One you can use with Spring Ball, I believe, for most to use Spring Ball for that, but apparently a bit easier to use if you know what you're doing.
Alright, Aussie's got 56 super missiles going into Mother Brain 2. He's going to need to use another 12 regular missiles after that. Assuming none of them miss.
Or do 4 chop shots.
That is also an option.
Spamming those missiles is probably better. Oi!
Oh, he took, that's unfortunate. He took too much damage to be able to do the stand-up dodge. It wouldn't save much time considering that we never found that plasma beam, but oh well.
Nice little chain damage there. going to check plasma here.
I'm gonna call right now that plasma is vanilla.
That would be pretty hilarious. But yeah, quite a few items in Swamp and Pot that we never checked, so don't think that's too likely here. I've chosen just 20 rupees.
Alrighty, and we are on to Mother Brain Phase 3, 40,000 health. The Hyper Beam does 1,000 rapid fire damage. And I didn't see what was at the plasma beam item.
20 rupees.
Oh.
And I will taking the Forgotten Highway here, suck. Head over to the red chip.
Yes, he is absolutely doing the Forgotten Highway. In Vanilla Super Metroid, this is the way you would come to enter Maria.
And unfortunately that will leave the knight to find his shovel as the very last check over here. Meanwhile, Ozzy almost done with the escape, doing Park Cup.
Alrighty, Speak Gaming community, get your GGs in chat for Aussie 101, finishing in first place on the root stream and first place overall with a time of 2 hours 33:30 according to racetime.gg.
GG indeed. We'll play it from Ozzy.
Alrighty. Warren Traveler, if you can see about getting Aussie in here for a post-race interview, that would be spectacular. Alrighty, and Maniacal has Fantoon left to do, and it looks like he's also just got Eastern and then the end game. Yeah, he'll get his shovel here, then he'll get his bow from the dig spot, and that'll put him in go mode.
Do believe we have Ozzy here now with us, so GG's Ozzy and congratulations to the win in this weekly race here.
And I actually did forget where the shovel was. It was on the boat.
Yeah, we forgot for a little bit too.
Just knew that I had it forever. I never checked it.
Kinda remembered that you, or that it was shown somewhere pretty exposed. Kinda slipped all of our minds. It was so early and then never checked.
Like, even mode, I'd expect people to check it as you pass by. Since he didn't go that way ever.
Yeah, Maniacal never did go that way. He backdoored Red Ship to the Forgotten Highway. That's where he is now.
I guess I did know or expect him to skip wreck ship as long as he could. So it's a maniacal thing to do.
All right, I'll see for question number one, like I always ask. In terms of the routing decisions you made throughout the scene, was there anything you felt particularly good or bad about?
The seed felt pretty bad overall. Felt like I was late to a lot of things. Like the flute, in your last location that. The high jump and speed, those have been really handy to have early. So I wasn't feeling great throughout most of the seed, and then ended on the shovel, leading to bow. So I felt I was in a bad spot after the bow, but I guess not.
Your execution is absolutely on point pretty much the whole time, so GG's on that too.
I think one of your big plus points in your routing was definitely the comparatively early trip to Lower Norfair, which got you your Titan Smiths, which enabled you to have them, and your boots to make building the past gameplay a bit faster. So,
Yep,
those were things.
I think my late Upper Norfair helped because I had a little easier Lower Norfair right after. And then I had got a lot of good items at a Lower Norfair. And then actually a good play was my gravity find to Catfish. At the time I was playing going Suitless Meridia. So I was happy to see Spring Ball and then just followed it up with the Catfish having gravity. And then that gave me Mirror for Desert. So it all worked out.
Yeah, the book never showed up, so that mirror, as far as we know, was mandatory. Alrighty, second question. Letter grade scale, how much fun was this one for you?
It's pretty fun. Give it a B. Like, especially if you don't miss the bow, then it's pretty good seed. I did feel like I did a lot of like skippable checks. Like I could have put off wreck ship or not done croc. I could have skipped some things to make for a better route. I guess it worked out in the end.
As our good friend Shade says, it's about the chances you take, the gambles you make, which ones pay off.
Yeah. While there were certainly quite a few checks that you can skip, this seed had the items placed in a way that were not that openly to get for all of them, so you for sure could have played very aggressive, but not all of the items were that reasonably to get, so you had that shovel spot. You could have done it at any point, but it was never really that directly on the route. Yeah, so to hit all of the items in the order that you would have needed to is probably not as easy as you would think. So you did quite well on your route, I'd say.
Yeah, it's good order. It worked out. Like I had fire going into Hera, and then item in the basement. Got my ice rod before Turtle Rock. So, good item order. And the big thing time-wise is didn't go into independent dungeons.
One point that Maniacal did a little bit differently. He dipped into Maya when he was in that area. Checked for those two items, but that was not required.
I didn't have ether at the time, and just didn't want to go back. Didn't want to do Pendant Mire.
Right, and obviously that choice paid off.
I was thinking that if you get an early bow, then you'd probably go into pod. Most time there.
Of course, Swarm never really was an option because Flippers never showed up.
Yep, it's pretty interesting, not having flippers.
I mean,
Yeah, and as far as we're aware, they never showed up. We didn't see them on the Maniacal side, at least.
I think it's pretty reasonable to assume them being in pod since the bow was accessible comparatively early. If there's that shell, I can never checked.
And Ozzy, do you have any final thoughts on the seed or the race in general?
I don't know. It's a good race against Maniacal. It's a good opponent. He's great at skipping things that I don't, and making up big time then. So I was a little worried.
You and Maniacal are definitely two of the top players in the community, and I'm speaking for myself. I'm looking forward to. Are you in the 2v2 tournament? I don't remember.
Yes, I'm with Solsky.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what you and Solsky can do.
But as for today, we had a very nice restream race. With me and Maniacal.
Alrighty, I think we can let you go then, Aussie.
Alright, thanks.
Happy to be of service. Take care. Alrighty, and with that, Maniacal is heading up towards, I believe, Maniacal is heading up top of Red Tower. So, not sure. Yeah, there's not a lot left for him to check. I would be surprised if he's not going straight for dig spot.
He might check front of gauntlet. Okay, maybe he did already. I may have forgotten about that.
I believe he did check front of gauntlet earlier.
I know he
No.
did check from the back, and he had the
Right.
speed booster to do those checks.
Right. Yeah. He tried to do the speed booster spring ball skip. Spring ball skip.
Right. Bonked, unfortunately, just before the ball. Now I remember. But yeah, heading straight for the dig spot. So we'll be in go mode just any second now.
Alrighty, that is Maniacal's go mode at about 2 hours 44:20. As was the case when Aussie hit his go mode, he just has Eastern to finish and then the 2 end games. So I figure we'll be done here in about half an hour, maybe, if that.
Maybe a little bit faster, but about 25 minutes around. The end games do take quite a bit. The big key was not early, so it's a little bit of a slower GT. That's for Aussie, just so for Maniacal. These last 2 dungeons he ending to pass the Eastern Palace and then Ganon's Tower will not be much of a problem at all. We have just about any weaponry we could want for this. to the fire up there. Might just be missed input when he wanted to go for the bow, since Manaka has the lamp. Now do the armor's knight's fight with the silver arrows. 1 arrow per knight, which is pretty fast.
And he gets another heart out of the heart piece.
Which is Ganon's tower left. We'll need to go all the way to Bob's chest, so see what route Michael will take. There are a few common variations to do. Aussies start in Hope Room, then go in full left. Probably the fastest one of those usual run routes is the option that Maniacal will start on the left side doing Stealth Room and then Mirror go to the right side, which would lose a little bit more time in comparison. Fortunate hit on Lionel, up in his momentum.
Alrighty, a Maniacal is into Ganon's tower, going for Hope Stretch, it looks like.
So, since there was no small key here, should be about the same route that Ozzy took. There are people that do Hope Room first, go to the Starfast Room, and then go back to the right side to do the Compass Room, but that is a route variation that is quite a bit less seen at the moment, as it is one of the slowest routes you can take overall.
Alrighty, and for anybody who might be curious about the rest of the field, we have not yet had anyone else finish. Aussie is still the only one, other than a few forfeits.
Indeed, while you could have been pretty fast on it, the item placement was not really nice in any way. So there's sure some things like that bow that certainly could have stumped you. And even the opener with the flute on the Morph ball pedestal. What was it? Was powder up on the mountain? Grab that Morph ball?
Yes, I think so.
So that opening sequence was already kind of a bit convoluted, so yeah. Does not give you a great feeling for the start of the race. gravity at Catfish, although not strictly necessary that early, can elude you. The mirror at Marmot Turtle can be annoying, depending on your route. And of course, this endgame does take quite a while.
Indeed, it does.
Especially with the big key this deep into the basement of GT. You have just no pathway to get there. Like I said, Maniacal and OC both the same route that is probably the fastest to reasonably get there. Aside from going the full bonkers routes. Because there's certainly the option to just go full left from the start. Go to Bob's chest.
I don't think that would have saved more than about 30 seconds tops.
Yeah, and then the bullet key is just isn't there. You fight Ice Armors, find nothing, and then go to the Hope Room, find the big key, and be set. So yeah, that's not a route that is been taken in any serious competition so far.
Alrighty, in the meantime, MM2 Nest Cartridge has finished in second place overall at 2 hours 51:46. Maniacal in the fourth floor gauntlet. I've said before, this was another area where I feel like the designer was having a bad day. Enemies, conveyor belts, spikes, beamoses, and in the last room, ice. Why?
Why not? I think that's the main question the developers had when they designed those rooms.
Right, now, if I remember correctly, Landmolus 2 is on a set pattern unless you powder that anti-fairy. Is that correct?
The timing is set. There's still RNG to where those landmolars will pop to or which direction they take, but their starting points are always the same and their timing is fixed. So if you enter the room before and head straight through, then you get the pattern that Maniacal got from the timing. The longer you wait, the closer together the landmolars will spawn into the room. So if you take time to wait out the anti-fairy or powder it, they will almost spawn at the same time. And if you wait even a little bit longer, you can make it so that they all spawn at the exact same time. Which again allows you to use Dreaded with the Cane of Samaria and the Butter Sword to maybe cycle them with a single thought spin. It's not an easy strat, but it can be done.
Interesting. Thanks for that explanation. I didn't know a lot of that.
You can kind of see that sometimes when runners decide to not powder the anti-fairy, but instead head into the left of the door and stay there without going to the next room and wait until the anti-fairy disappears from or goes over to you and disappears because it cannot enter the door frame. That is kinda your cue for you to go into the next room and have all landmos spawn at the same time.
Got it. And we didn't mention this when Ozzy did it, but that was the Cane of Burna in Moldorm's chest.
Not that it would do anything really for you really here. Could use it maybe in the Ganon fight to get the invulnerability, but with the better swords. And the level of our runners. Not something you would expect here. Another nice Aga pattern here. Michael getting that triple.
Very kind Aga pattern. 2-3-1.
Aside from the fabled double triple, about the best fight you can reasonably ask for. Again, this Ganon fight. Probably one of the easiest you can find here. I can make use of the hookshot iframes. Get out of that very dead circle. Michael's getting a little bit kinder, I think, with the teleports. These are 50% for each teleport to hit them, so if you are unlucky, you can get a very, very bad phase 3 Ganon.
Alrighty, there's single, double, single for Bacon and G, single G's in chat, folks.
Only Tyrion left for Maniacal to do 7 quits and soft resets to the ship. And off we go.
I mean, Maniacal's a little slimmer on ammo than Aussie was, but not by much. So I don't anticipate that Maniacal's Torium will be significantly different from how Aussie's looked. Although I do know that Maniacal did find the Morph ball bombs, so if a Metroid happens to latch onto him, he can get free.
Maniacal with only quote-unquote 60 super missiles, so will maybe have a little bit slower of the Mother Brain fight. But overall in the ammunition has a little bit more normal missiles, not too much of a difference. And this is still way more than enough to finish this game. Disregarding that charge with Ice Laser Beam we do have, if everything else fails us. Which at this point would be more impressive to actually miss enough that you would need to use your charge beam.
The Metroids cannot be damaged by the charge beam, only frozen.
I mean for Mother Brain, so...
Oh, I misunderstood. I missed part of that, sorry.
For those Metroid rooms, you of course have to use the missiles, so... Maniacal
Alrighty,
still...
Maniacal ending the Metroid rooms at full ammo. Trying to avoid taking damage from the side hoppers with the screw attack. Doesn't quite work.
Michael has the option to go for the baby skip here. Maybe we'll actually get to see one today. One successful try.
He's not taking intentional damage, so he does plan to try it. Good start. Got the Metroid orbiting him. That's the way. One more jump. And he got it. Well done.
And using Super Messiah, so will not be on full 60 entering the Mother Brain fight. It's not a problem, but it is not as fast. Would have been the additional 10 supers that Ozzy had. Also, Michael taking off screw attack here for the zap skip.
Appetite glitch. Yeah, that is much easier with the screw attack turned off.
Or the setup that Michael used here will lead your iframes, and screw attack does cancel them. The spin jump.
Alrighty, I forgot to mention, we have had a wave of finishers now. A0 finished in 3rd place at 2:55.05. Apathy Duck in 4th place at 3 hours 136. And Tony T. Young in 5th place at 3 hours 2:39.
Maybe that shovel and the bow stumped a few people here.
Yeah, thinking about it now, the wave of finishes we've seen, it wouldn't surprise me. Alrighty, Maniacal is not going to go for the stand-up glitch. Like I said, the amount of time it saves is not worth this. Now, it doesn't save enough time to be worth doing if you don't have plasma. A little note about Mother Brain 3 here. The idea you can get up to 4 charge shots into her while she's airborne, while you're airborne from a jump like that. Doing it that way if you can get it like that, like Maniacal's doing now, that's the least laggy way to do it. Because this part of the fight does lag a bit.
The longer the the hyper beam shots are on screen, the laggier it is. So you want the least amount of time those shots are on the screen.
And Maniacal begins the escape with exactly 3 minutes left on the timer. It's just a little trick I've learned to do too. Alrighty, let's see how this shakes out. Maniacal goes for the blue bomber strat, doesn't quite get it.
Apparently he wants to try again. Where's this again?
3rd time's the charm. Guess not.
But enough spare time here that Michael can try again, but either he doesn't want to, or there's something not really working the way Michael wants.
Not sure why he's having so much trouble. I didn't think Blue Bomber was this hard.
I think it's not easy, but
Maybe I'm just spoiled from watching runners who were really good at it.
yeah, and I don't think Michael should have this much of a problem. Okay.
There it goes.
Something is doing often, that he should not have had this kind of trouble with. You never know, sometimes it just doesn't, or you're just not able to.
Indeed. Do you think Maniacal will save the animals?
I doubt it.
Guess not. Alrighty, folks, get your GGs in chat. Maniacal finishing in 6th place overall at a time of 3 hours, 7:47. And right behind him, SP Ridley, our final finisher, 7th place at 3 hours, 8:21.
GG.
Alrighty, we'll see if Maniacal is interested in coming in for an interview. He usually is. Alrighty, we are joined by Maniacal. GG.
Hey, hope you didn't have to stay up too late for that one.
It's just past midnight here. Everything's fine.
Okay, good.
And I'm in the States, so...
Yeah, that was a ride. I decided to play it more like a 1v1 than a weekly, and it didn't work.
Yeah, skipping Red Shift until the end is what really sunk you.
I mean, no, it was like skipping Wreck Ship is fine. It was Moat, really. Skipping the Moat Scout and Upper Red Tower was kind of the problem.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, like, those are separate and very easy to do. But just the way the seed routed, I like the decisions I made given the particular matchup. Ossie's advantaged in the matchup, and so I liked the calls that I made. I have a feeling I saw a lot of items that he did not.
You're absolutely right about that. So
Yeah, and I have a feeling I was first into a lot of locations that didn't pay off, and so that's kind of what you're looking for if you're playing a 1v1. But pretty sure I had a bit higher of a collection rate than anybody else playing this one.
Yeah, if you've tuned into the restream, Ossie's collected items was 204.
Okay, yeah. So I left and reset some stuff. It looks like I have a 213. So yeah, I ended up with that's a pretty good CR for or collection rate rather for 233. He must have been cruising. But I guess the big key was fairly late. Never mind. Yeah, that 204 is within. Yeah, 204 is good.
I think check-wise, the only big noticeable difference between you two is that you checked Meyer.
Did he go back for right side desert?
He had the boots when he went to
Okay.
desert, so he
Okay.
could do all of them at once. But yeah, that was the big difference in your routing. He did an later upper Norfair, but did the entirety of Norfair altogether. So
Okay, yeah.
lower,
Yeah.
earlier, had the boots, had the mids early.
Yeah, I decided to chase a bunch of fragmented items, push the logic on certain directions it was going. Really, the only thing I didn't see was front of pod.
Yeah, that was never to be seen area.
Well, I mean, it has the flippers. We know that. But otherwise, there can't be much there. Plasma, maybe.
Yeah, nobody has said anything about plasma.
Yeah, I mean, front of pod has the flippers, but beyond that, I don't
That's
know.
just process of elimination, nowhere else they could be.
Yeah, I mean, I literally cleared everything except for front of pod in both games. So, like, it can't be in Ganon's Tower, it can't be in Swamp. It can't be in Ganon's Tower because Ice is a crystal. And there's 0 locations left in Super Metroid, so, like, it has to be front of pod. Or pod or green pendant turn in, rather.
All right.
The lamp check tool, I'm not exactly sure
Yeah,
how that kind of works, what you would need for that to work.
Well, you had everything you need to go clear Shack Tool in this seed.
Okay.
So, I mean, the grappling beam was upper red tower, high jump boots were early, gravity suit was in sequence. Gravity suit was just catfish, so not behind flippers. So, yeah, I mean, all of pod is reasonably in logic. So there's 6 items, one of them has to be the flippers.
Okay, so usual questions for Knuckle. First off, anything about your routing you felt particularly good or bad about?
Yeah, I felt good about most of it, honestly. I mean, after Meyer was completely blank, it was clear that, that I was very, very behind and just needed to gamble down the line, and hope that the skips worked. And then just didn't find anything on the plays that I did make. The bow was not behind the flippers, as it turns out. And otherwise, yeah, I mean, I felt fine about it, but like the latter part of the seed, like just going plasma to wrecked ship via Forgotten Highway, that was just, concession at that point. Like, it was just fun. So had fun with it. But felt bad about last locationing flute in the early game. Bad about pushing around the powder to be late to morph. There were a lot of things that fell very bad for me early in the seed, that if I wanted to have a reasonable opportunity to win, I needed to, really gamble a few things, and just none of them paid out, and so you get what you saw.
I mean, regarding that opening, both of you, at least here on the restream, did kind of the same things. Maybe not in the exact same order, but you were both late to the flute. You both were even later to the powder at that point. But I think the big difference that kind of set you apart at the beginning already is that Ozzy got a lucky 8 bomb drop from killing a bird. So he had bombs going into Kakariko while you had to buy some, and you had to take that extra trip back to check race game.
Yeah, if the seed breaks that way, I like isolating race game in that situation. I think it's the right call. Unfortunately, I did get pushed back into going over to check it, but especially with like with early Hammer already being a Dark World piece, there's potential you can get back and just mirror into race game. There's potential to go back with Boots. I don't mind it as like it would have been really slow to walk out of Blind's Hut, walk to the south of Village, and then walk over through Library to race game.
Agree.
Like it's not a check that's worth doing against South Shore and the other things that just have options at that point. So, you know, obviously I did have to go back at some point and look at it, but I actually think that, you know, that's just the consequence of the early game routing call. I looked at the tier 1 poll, looked at some of the prize packs, didn't look at what the prize pack that the bird was in, so yeah,
that was
little rough.
Really coming down to Ozzy got that one bird kill which dropped that 8 bomb pack. So,
yeah.
If not for that, Ozzy would have had a similar opening maybe.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember, I think maybe I killed the bird on the way out of the Lost Woods. I'm trying to remember what the loadout was at that point.
I don't think you had the hook shot there.
I was gonna say the hook shot. Hook shot was Link's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have that there. Hammer was in the well, if I remember right. So yeah, I wouldn't have had anything that I would have used to kill the bird. I've had seeds recently where I was able to farm the bird on the way out of Lost Woods. And they all kind of bleed together because the early games look so similar.
That was just Ozzy did the uncle start, which did give him the hook shot on the silvers early, and with that hook he got that bomb drop from the bird, which was the difference maker in the opening. Aside from that, you pretty much did exactly the same.
Man, that's about how I lost 34 minutes. So that sucks. Bird RNG, man.
Okay, one more difference now that I think about it. You actually did this small key steal in Hyrule Castle, which actually led you to have the ether way earlier than Ozzy, who could have gotten into TR the first time he was on Dark Death Mountain if he would have had that ether, but he hadn't.
Yeah, I like the key steal there. I think it's the right play. I don't know what was going on with the last key door. It just would not register. I was like right on top of the door 3 different times, and finally on the 3rd time it registered. So that was a little weird. And that was about where I was like, okay, I'm reasonably losing time last locationing whatever, if this break doesn't pay off. But then ultimately did need the ether, but the glove was not too bad. So, you know, it kind of felt a little neutral, but I still think it's a decent play to steal the key there. Sometimes you can get very lucky with it, and it wasn't too hard to death warp. I didn't set it up very well, though.
Alrighty, and the other question I like to ask, letter grade scale, how much fun was this one for you?
We'll give it like how much fun was the seed, or how much fun did I have, right? Like, I had a bunch of fun. I had a great time. The seed itself wasn't particularly fun, so...
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
These exist on orthogonal axes.
Yeah, I guess both. The seed and you.
Yeah, the seed gets like a D for putting the shovel at moat. Like, what a jerk. And some of the item locations, like, if you happened into them, they were very, very free. Like, nothing was in a bad spot, but, like, they were just in spots that you could just, you know, not find them. And that was kind of how it went. But I had fun with the seeds, or I had fun playing the seeds, so I had, like, a, you know, B-level fun or something. I was committed to having some fun with it.
Alrighty, that is absolutely fair. I'm about out of things to ask. Do you have anything else you want to add, Raylan?
Not really, aside from maybe last question about your blue bomber attempts there at the end.
I don't know what's up with my jump button, but it was finicky like the whole time. And so I was tapping it and it was registering my right shoulder ahead of the jump. I don't know why, but I was committed. If I ran out of clock, I was running out of clock. Normally, it's exceptionally free and fun, and it just, you know, it was sort of a good representation of, I don't know, I felt like I actually played very reasonably in parts executionally. Like I played basically how I wanted with a handful of small exceptions. But yeah, there were glaring examples like that where things just went completely sideways, like rooms that just fell apart. Coming up from post Croc back into Bubble Mountain was another one. The room with the pirates and the metal gamers. Like there were just a few rooms that just, for whatever reason, just went off the rails very, very hard in this run. Straight into the ravine.
Sometimes those things happen.
Yeah, that's kind of how Super Metroid works, is if a room goes sideways, it can go very sideways if you aren't really ready with a backup for it, because then enemy patterns can be different from what you're expecting, and you know, things tend to snowball quite quickly when you're off of expected strats. But yeah, I don't really have too much else to say. Blue Bomber's sweet though, and it was worth it, so I have no regrets.
Alrighty then, Monaco, I think we can let you go then.
Yeah, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for the commentary. Thank you to Warren Traveler for the tracking. Speed Gaming for the restream. GG to Aussie, obviously, and everyone else who played this one. Was not my day, but that's okay. We'll keep jamming these and keep having fun with them.
You can lose the way people just win against them in the tournament, or everything's fine, right?
I'd take that deal. I don't think that's how it works, but I'd take that deal.
Remind us, Monaco, who are you partnered with for the tournament?
Oh, I'm running with Hitaka in the co-op tournament, so we're running. I know Aussie is playing with Solsky, whom I ran with in the last tournament. They're a pretty strong team, so I think they'll do well. I think Hitaka and I have a decent shot in going fairly deep. There's a lot of really good teams, though. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to seeing what you do.
Yeah, hopefully I make Hitaka checkmate. And then this one finishes a lot faster.
All right, Monaco, it's been good having you. You take care.
Likewise, take it easy.
And with that, folks, I think we're ready to wrap it up. Waylon, do you have any final words?
No, aside from it was quite fun to do this with you, and yeah, was an interesting seed. So...
It certainly was. I wouldn't have wanted to play this one, but it was definitely fun to watch.
Oh yeah. Although I kind of wonder now how this could have been done in the co-op setting with the seed. It's certainly been an interesting play. Yeah, that will be for the tournament that starts, I think, next, what is it, Monday?
Yeah, I think I think the first matches are the 19th.
Okay, yeah, so we will have for that until then, so yeah. Thanks for doing this with me. Thanks to Warren Traveler for tracking all of the stuff. And I'm done. Take us out here.
Alrighty, I've been Big Box, he's been Raylan Tank here. See you next mission, everybody.